All right, so here I am walking through the streets of Marion, Ohio, which was my old neighborhood growing up. And just want to make a little video while I'm walking. It's really quiet and peaceful out here. I love it. I come out here usually every couple nights just to walk, get some exercise, meditate, in peace and quiet. There's usually never really a car, maybe one or two. But, you know, I got a little bit of a motivation from a couple people that I've met in southern Florida, who I'd like to call my friends. You know, one of them's doing a little video thing, and he calls, I believe, like the Daily Rant. And you know, he's making little videos and talking about what he wants to talk to, but he's getting vulnerable, and he's just saying what he wants to say. And another one, you know, he's been doing this walking journey where he walks, I don't know, so many days in a row. He's walked like, I think it's like 80 some days in a row so far. And but they post about it, and I think that's really cool. So I think it's neat because they're just getting vulnerable and they're just putting themselves out there, you know. And I like that because it challenges me, challenges my mind, to just continue to be as much me as I can be, you know. And that's part of my journey in life, just to be open and as free as I can and willing to say how I feel, you know, and shed all those masks and just be Mike who Mike is. So anyway, I was in a meeting today, because I do go to meetings. I'm part of a group, a program, and you know, not everybody on here is. So, but somebody in this meeting that I was in today, they got really vulnerable, and they started talking about, and they were, you know, they're not young kid. They were talking about wanting to fit in and making friends, and, you know, trying to be around others, and how they feel a certain way about it. And, you know, it really sparked something in me, and you know, it made me think about that, you know, and how most of my life, especially in school, I had all these masks, and I was every kind of kid that known to man, you know, just trying to fit in, just trying to be like everybody else, just trying to do what I can to be part of something, you know, even if I didn't know what that was, I would just become that. But you know, this guy sharing, you know, it's real, you know. I know that for me, all growth and change comes through vulnerability, and that takes courage. It takes a lot of courage, especially for a man, to just share openly to other people about being timid and shy and trying to fit in and have friends. And, you know, that's not a very common thing. So when someone does that, you know, it's really encouraging to see that, and I just love seeing it, because that, for me, that's where the change comes, you know, shedding all my mask and saying what I really feel. And you know, I've done a lot of that. I'm not by any means perfect, you know, and I know for me, those masks can still come on. You know, I just moved back into this town after being down in southern Florida for like 7 years. And, you know, I'm meeting new people and doing things, and like, I want to be a part of, you know, I want to fit in, and you know, so I can, if I'm not careful, I can see these masks try to reestablish themselves back on my face. And so I'm very wary of that. I make sure it doesn't happen. But, you know, I'm grateful to be ever changing in this life, ever growing, having the ability to recognize when I falter, having the ability to acknowledge when I make a mistake or have a shortcoming, and continue to grow and surround myself with people that continue to do the same thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And you know, the one thing guaranteed in life is change, and that's certainly what I've done my whole life, is change, you know. So yeah, courage and vulnerability, you know, being courageous, getting vulnerable, sharing what's really on your mind, instead of just faking your way through it and lying and being fake and covering yourself up with masks. I did that for years, and it's something that I don't ever want to get back into. You know, it's so freeing and it's so light to just shut all that off of you and just walk through the world like, here I am. Here's what I've done. Here's what I've done wrong. Here's what I'm trying to do. And those people that don't understand it or don't like it, you know, that's going to be their journey to figure that out. I can only do what I can do. And it's just a beautiful thing. So grateful to be here. Grateful to, you know, have another day breathing, walking these streets. I walk these streets every night. It's like nostalgia. It's just bringing back memories. I've been in so many of these houses, so many years. I've walked these sidewalks when I was a kid. I rode bikes on these streets. You know, I heard that shared in Florida so many times, and I was like, it sucks. I didn't grow up in Florida. And so now here I am, and I know that feeling now, like I'm walking the same streets I played on as a kid and rode my skateboard on and my bicycle with a little pocket full of a couple dollars and some coins, headed down to the candy shop or the baseball card shop. But anyway, I'm almost back to the house, so grateful to be on here. Wish everybody a good week.